Hey everyone who's tuning in today, welcome to our first TWD Tea Talks. Today we're going to be talking about the hot topic of adulting. So, to start us off today, I'm going to read what it says in Urban Dictionary of what adulting is. It says, adulting, to do grown-up things and hold responsibilities, such as a 9-to-5 job, paying your rent, a car payment, or anything else that one thinks is grown up. Especially the accomplishment of mundane but necessary tasks.
Sounds good.
Sounds about right.
So ladies, do you remember when you were a kid, what did you think or expect being adult was going to look like?
I honestly, personally, I felt that to be an adult, you just have everything set. You know, everything together, the car, the house, the kids.
White picket fence.
Yeah, you know, no stress, no issues really.
Comes naturally.
Yeah,
You just get it without needing to work for it.
exactly.
Yeah.
After high school, you know, you go to university or college, you get this great job, like everything just works itself out. That's what I thought it was supposed to be like.
Yeah, I can totally see that. Like for me, it's the same thing. Like I thought it was like all lined up, you know, everything, almost like everything was just given to you. Just, it never occurred to me like the struggles that you have to go through to get, you know, to that car, to get to that house, you know, to get to that home, that beautiful, perfect looking picture.
Yeah.
I think a big thing for me when I was a kid and looking at being an adult or adulting, like there had to be certain milestones you had to hit. Like, okay, I'm 18 now and I go to college. Okay, I'm 25 and I'm married. I'm 30 with kids. You know, I'm 40 and I own a house. And that's not reality. Everybody has such a different timeline.
Yeah.
And now knowing that, okay, it's all right to be on a different timeline.
Yes.
I think mine was actually really different now that I think about it, because I grew up in a home from birth until 16 years old.
Wow.
I was in the basement. So my nanny, she lived on the top floor, and me and my parents lived in the basement. So I think my idea was that it's okay to be not 100% there yet, because my parents didn't buy their first house until I was 16 years old. So to me, it was kind of a different picture that it's okay that you don't have all your stuff together right away.
Wow.
You can
that's
be in your 40s and just getting a house.
So you didn't feel rushed.
No.
That's good.
I like that. I need that right now. To know that, you know, especially the house thing, because I feel like that's a big thing for our generation, and just at times with how it's so hard to get a mortgage and just money in general. It's so hard. So that's good.
And I think that going on that note, like when you're growing up, you don't really focus so much on your financial intelligence, you know, like think about credit, you know. And as soon as we're 18, we're like, I got a credit card, so I'm gonna go to Mac and I'm gonna go do this, I'm gonna buy those shoes. And you don't realize that, or you're not taught like, hey, you know what, this is what credit is, this is what credit can do for you in your life.
Such a good point.
Yeah.
So it's I feel like today's generation with the younger kids is so crucial for us to talk to them about, you know, that piece, you know.
Yeah.
Or to add to credit card, this is what OSAP is for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? OSAP, credit card, all of those things combined.
Yeah.
They don't teach these things in school.
Yeah.
They don't.
And I don't know if you guys have this too, but my parents, because, you know, they come from Africa, Uganda, like my mom tells me now, she's like, we didn't know these things either. So to educate us, like they couldn't, you know, or not that they couldn't, but they didn't have the knowledge to do so. So you can look back, like some parents, if they are growing up in Canada where there is credit, maybe they're able to teach their kids that. But I don't know, like what are your guys, you know? Does that make sense?
I actually kind of very different in my home too, because neither of my parents use debit or credit really at all. They always use cash for everything. The only time I see my mom ever take out a credit card is when they're coming to visit me here and they have a hotel and they use their credit card, honestly. So my experience with debit and credit was not, they didn't even really explain it to me. It was only cash. So when I went to the bank and they told me about a debit card and credit card, that was my first introduction to it. And I was like, oh.
That's perfect.
You know, like to have the bank teach me something about money and not my parents teach me about debit and credit. I feel like that really hurt me, to be honest. Yeah.
It's like, it's such a big, important piece. And you know, it's a huge part of like adulting, you know, the whole credit aspect for sure. Yeah, because like if you were able to, you know, be 18 again, would you be more appreciative of that credit card? Or smarter, you know what I mean?
Oh, for real. Yeah.
It's haunting me to this day, literally. The same credit card I got when I was 18.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want it to be completely paid off, you know? Like, every month you're trying, and then it's just like, wow, it's just there.
So, what was the most difficult part of becoming an adult for you guys?
That is a loaded question.
Yeah.
But the first thing that comes to my mind right now is responsibilities. Like responsibilities. And I think the most recent experience would be getting married, because I'm coming up on around 3 years married, and like
Really
from
already?
yeah, it goes by really fast. But definitely being married and being like so attached and close with my mom and sister, and living in that house, because I never went away for school, like to college, university. I live with my mom and sister, and we have a great relationship. And then coming into a marriage, which is great, but also a lot of work. Like, okay, now I'm the mom, even if I don't have kids, like the laundry and the cooking and the cleaning, and then beginning to appreciate like that role and find a good balance with your husband compared to like a sister or mom. Yeah. I guess it's a difficult part of becoming an adult, but it's also an exciting part of becoming an adult. So marriage could be both difficult and exciting. What about you, ladies?
I think for me would be parenting for sure. Yeah, marriage absolutely, but I think like parenting, like for me personally, parenting is definitely the biggest impact, you know. And like I was a young mom, like I had my first child at 19, so it's like I feel like I had to grow up super fast.
Wow.
And as soon as I had him, you know, like I adopted the whole new like a more calm lifestyle. Whereas before, obviously, it was like, you know, very typical partying, right? Like I was in college or going into college, sorry, and you know, it was just more wild. But the moment I found out that, you know, I was going to be a mom, it was just like a switch, you know. And going through those challenges, I think that was the biggest, you know,
Difficulty.
yeah, for sure.
What about you guys?
For me, like going from living with my parents and then not just living on my own, but picking up from one city and moving to another by myself and living on my own. You know, like, and I didn't have that much preparation. I didn't really know how to do laundry. I didn't really know how to cook. So I had to
That's
basically,
true, though.
yeah, I basically had to teach myself how to do everything and clean, because honestly, like, I do have to say it, like, I was basically spoiled in a sense, because my parents didn't really, like, give me that much to do living with them. Make the bed, take out the garbage, but they basically did everything else. So I came in living by myself, needing to learn everything, and I don't know, like it was difficult to do it consistently. Like for the longest time, even dishes, and I think CG knows It's like I would leave the dishes piled up. I would just for like a whole week I wouldn't do the dishes because I just wasn't used to doing it all the time. You know what I mean? And so it took me a while before I feel like I kind of got the role of things. Yeah.
So is 18 adulthood? Like, is that the official thing?
Well, legal.
By law.
Yeah, by law, but at 18
By law?
nowadays.
Yeah, I was not an adult
Yeah.
at 18. I wouldn't
Say that. Because that was it. Like, going to university at 18, not knowing what I wanted to do. No direction, nothing. Just knowing I have to go to university, you know? That was the biggest reality check. I was like, what is life? You know? Because I didn't realize, I guess, how attached I was to my family and friends, you know? And I originally wanted to go to school in Ottawa, which is like 5 hours from my parents' house, but I settled essentially to go to school first in Hamilton because I didn't want to be far from my parents, because we went to go visit Ottawa U, and I was like, nope, this is too far, like I'll just go to Mac, you know? And that's not where I originally really wanted to go. But yeah, and then I'm just there. I just remember being in my university room and being just completely depressed. Completely. Just like what I didn't like this new step. You know, I was so comfortable, the high school and the routine and the friends and the safety. But now it's like, okay, figure your life out, you know?
Yeah.
You know, and it's different too because in high school you have teachers and it's smaller classes. Like it's easier.
You're
You have more
pampered more.
support,
Yeah.
and then you're still at home. But then when you're in university, it's just like this big. You just feel like this one person in this big room, just you know. But that was my biggest reality check, and then I feel like it just, you know, with time. Honestly speaking, if it wasn't for my relationship with God, like that, I feel like God has helped the process of growing up and adulting and finding direction. Because without that, it's not clear direction. Then you just look to your left, look to your right. Everyone has a different thing going on for them. You think everyone, you know, has this perfect life going on and has it figured out, but you know,
especially with Instagram and everything
nowadays,
right?
Yeah.
Like I didn't have that in high school or college.
MSN, Messenger.
MSN, yeah.
What was the Toronto one? T.Wire?
Yeah, T.Wire. Oh wow.
High Five.
You guys had High Five? I think
Yeah, I remember.
I did have that one.
Yeah, some people had MySpace as well. But
Then it evolved to BBM.
yeah. But yeah.
So, what do you believe about being an adult now?
I guess I'll start. I think what I believe about being an adult now is figuring out like my purpose and what I'm meant to do instead of like what I pictured before, which kind of wasn't like true to me. You know what I mean? Instead of being like, okay, I'm gonna have the condo, I'm gonna have like, you know, my kids, or I'm gonna be traveling, compared to like, okay, what does my life look like now that I know my identity as a child of God, and like being planted with the Father. Like, you know, when I wasn't searching off of my own like desires and pains and traumas, but now I'm like solid on a firm foundation. So being an adult now is just realizing my own identity and have a specific purpose. You know, not picking and choosing from other people's purposes or trying to place myself where other people think I should be.
For me, I think it's being okay with where I'm at, you know, and not overthinking things, not thinking to the future too much, not looking at the past, but just where am I right now? Where has God placed me right now? What is He doing right now? And trusting that He will make a way and it's going to be okay. Because I feel that when we just compare too much, or we just stress ourselves, you know, like it's okay. And I feel like that a lot in the past year, you know, like it'll be 2 years until 30, and obviously it's not like 30 is like that, you know, but it feels sometimes like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be 30 years old. But Sorry, guys. But like, yeah, no, I'm just more like okay with it. Like, it's fine. You know, I'm alive. That's a big deal. Some people don't make it to this age. You know, like, thank God I woke up this morning. I can take advantage of this day. You know, I love the fact that God's mercies are new each morning. Just wake up, breathe in, forget about yesterday, keep going, you know?
I think for me, like, for a long time, I was looking at, oh, I'm still single. Everyone else around me is married and has kids and blah, blah, blah. And my clock is ticking. But no, like, I'm in the season right now of, like, being okay with the middle part. Like, not focusing so much on an end goal, because that's just, your focus is gonna be off, and you're gonna it's just gonna take you so long to get there, and you're gonna complain about the middle part. So I'm just learning to embrace the middle part. And yeah, it's good to have goals, it's good to have, like, this is what I want to aspire to. I want a house, I want a husband, I want kids, I want all of this stuff. But
enjoying the now.
Yeah, enjoying the now, and being okay with being molded and worked on my character.
I love that. I love that. You're not rushing.
No,
you're enjoying
not anymore. Yeah. Learning the fruits of the spirit right now is something that I'm really trying to focus on, and patience is one of those fruits.
Inside out, from the inside out.
Yeah.
And I feel like our generation gets really caught up in, like, the whole adulting image, you know what I mean? Talking about your like fruits of the spirit, or like your character and stuff that really matters inside, instead of, okay, what does my Instagram page look like? Or what does my man or my girl look like? Or what kind of car am I pulling up in? Or like, what's the latest trend? Like, you're always striving and you can never achieve. Like, that contentness or that joy, like, that means so much.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me, it's just being more appreciative. You know, adulthood or adulting completely, it's changed. You know, the way I saw it before was more about, you know, reaching those goals. That's not to say it's a bad thing to have goals. Of course not. We all have goals. We all have, you know, I guess a plan set out in mind, you know. But also being appreciative, you know, thankful with the Lord that, hey, like you said, I'm here, you know, and it could have gone this way, it could have gone that way, but it didn't. And God has a plan for me. Being very also alert that yes, there is a plan, except that, you know, it's God's plan, the one that's going to manifest, right? If I allow Him to take over, right? So for me, adulting is just really like appreciating having God in my today, and just you know, not be so caught up with image, like you mentioned, right?
Or position, or status, or things,
because that'll come.
So, ladies, what would you share with other women? Advice about adulting based on, you know, your experiences, or just anything that you would share?
I would say don't be so hard on yourself. As we mentioned, like, yes, it's good and it's healthy to have goals, but also, you know, show yourself grace, be patient with yourself, you know, and know that yes, there is a God who loves you and who wants to be very engaged with you on your day-to-day life.
I would say I would want to share with other women, especially with being an adult or adulting, just stay open to, like, community and forgiveness and relationships, because I feel like after we go through so much becoming an adult and becoming a woman or a man, or as we're becoming an adult, like, we can go through so much traumas or pains or bad experiences, and we can build up walls, or we can get fearful, we can be scared, and then we start living in, like, protection mode or like defense mode, when we should be living, like, offense mode. You know what I mean? Like, going after our purposes, going after our goals, like living out our destiny. So yeah, with adulting, just stay in community and stay open and don't shut down to the world around you, because it's so easy in this generation, in this time.
I think I would say don't compare yourself to others so much, and don't feel like you have to be perfect all the time.
Preach again.
And don't live your life so much within other people, like looking through Instagram and wanting their lives.
That's good.
You have your own life, and you are created, and you have your own destiny that nobody else can have with you, and you can start over any day, at any time. So just be you, not anyone else.
That's good. The advice that I would give, it kind of goes off of what you were saying. Get off Instagram, social media, take breaks.
Except for this show, though.
Minus anything TWD. Because it's actually food being, given to you. But
that's so good.
just
with a purpose.
Get away and spend time with God. Seek Him. Put away religion and all the thoughts that you may have with it. Just find out who God is and who He's created you to be. I honestly can say I've benefited by coming off social media. Like, I do it every now and then, but lately, like, people at work or friends, just saying, oh, have you heard this or this? And I feel good not being in the know. I'm like, nope. And the peace that I feel is it's unexplainable. And I know that a lot of it has to do with just getting away from the noise. There's just so much going on. We just want to encourage you. We've been talking and sharing about our experiences and different things that, we've gone through, things that we thought about adulting and what we think about adulting now. So wherever you're at, whatever you think adulting is, just know that everything is going to be okay. We just want you to know that we're here for you. You may know us, you may not know us, but we're here.
All right, ladies, and whoever else is watching, we want to thank you for just joining in on the conversation today. And if you want to tell us what you think adulting is, comment below, or what your difficulties or what your journey's been like. We want to connect with you, and we want to hear from you.
Bye. Bye.